Welcome back to Conscious Ground Sound. I'm your host, Jay Ando, and today we look at Michael Kiwanuka's Love and Hate album, released on July 15th, 2016, by Polydor and Interscope Records. The album is produced by Danger Mouse, Inflow, and Paul Butler. Paul Butler is the singer and guitarist for the psychedelic pop group The Bees. Inflow is a British hip-hop producer, and Danger Mouse is the producer behind the second Gorillaz album, Demon Days, Beck's Modern Guilt, the Black Keys' Brother album, and is part of one of the best indie power duos, Broken Bells, where he collaborates with Shin's singer-songwriter James Mercer. Given these production and musical credits, it's worthwhile to pay attention to any album that Danger Mouse decides to take part in. This is Michael Kiwanuka's follow-up to his first album, Home Again. Michael Kiwanuka is a British musician of Ugandan descent. Kiwanuka's parents came to Britain fleeing the Amin regime, which is a side note that might give perspective to the heavy blues tendencies present in Kiwanuka's music. Love and Hate is a somber and soulful album that combines elements of soul, rock, blues, and funk. The predominant stylistic feel, though, is soul music, and at times Love and Hate reminds me of Marvin Gaye with a slightly darker musical tone, with tracks like Place I Belong, which sounds heavily inspired by the vocal style and subject matter of the What's Going On album. Place I Belong has the hallmark 1970s Marvin Gaye Motown sound, and it's captured in a way that deserves respect for its authenticity and raw emotion. Kiwanuka blends the deep soulfulness of Isaac Hayes and Funkadelic with a track such as Love and Hate with its heart-wrenching guitar solo that reminds me of the track Maggot Brain. The album overall has a very world-weary sound, which is not a bad thing in and of itself, but there are really no upbeat songs on this album. It's very one-tone, which lends itself to those times when you're suffering emotionally, but in terms of variety, there's no real celebration on this album. It is clear, however, that Love and Hate expresses a profound suffering and is truly a work of art. I've been giving Love and Hate repeated listens after the end result of the presidential elections, and the tone of the album is becoming more and more poignant in its overwhelming grief. The album starts with a moody 10-minute soul track called Cold Little Heart that was co-written with hip-hop musician and producer Inflow. There's 5 minutes of instrumental before the vocals come in, and it's obvious from the first track that this album is something different. Kiwanuka touches on many aspects of the blues lyrically and artfully combines this sound with a soul delivery and an indie sensibility. A track that exemplifies this is the beautiful and soulful Loner Blues of Falling, which has all of the sweetest sounds of Hammond organ, funky soul bass, Mellotron sounding synth, and the heart-wrenching lyrical delivery that bears Kiwanuka's tortured soul. Michael Kiwanuka sings, "I don't know why I stayed so long. I always knew you'd let me down. I'm the man who belongs alone." Though the album has a dark feel from start to finish, the tracks are never dull, and there appears to be many shades of gray and black in Kiwanuka's seemingly monochromatic palette of songwriting, and these shades are expressions of profound blues. Rule the World is one of those tracks that shows Kiwanuka's depth of songwriting capability in the way that the song morphs between candid upfront vocals, accompanied by a flange guitar and an all-out soul call and response with a gospel choir. The call and response is accented with lush strings and guttural guitar solos, and at this point I'm left thinking, this man is a modern soul music genius, and I'm excited for the prospect of new music to come. The track Black Man in a White World deals with the issue of belonging and being in between worlds. Kiwanuka explains of his Muswell Hill upbringing. "I didn't feel stereotypically black with the way I dressed and the music I was into. I didn't relate to my parents' culture. I can't speak Ugandan for a start, so this song is about that, and being pissed off that I didn't belong." The varied stylings of classic soul music are apparent on the track One More Night, which is reminiscent of that stack style that Danger Mouse helped bring to life on the Black Keys album Brothers. One More Night has a simple lyrical delivery that reminds me a bit of Charles Bradley in its candid simplicity. One More Night has horns, a clavinet, a guitar tone that sounds like a horn, and an altogether amazing production value. The album as a whole has a vintage quality and the rawness that comes with analog recording techniques. Despite the album's dark overtones, the songwriting throughout is of the highest caliber, as is the production, which makes Love and Hate one of the most significant albums of 2016. Michael Kiwanuka leaves us with the track The Final Frame that seals the deal for me in the way that it combines all of the greatest talents of Kiwanuka, his voice being one facet, the guitar work, instrumentation, along with the genius production that really renders Love and Hate a powerful and timeless album that brings us back to the earth sonically and emotionally. I give Michael Kiwanuka's album Love and Hate an 8.5 out of 10 for its classic soul sound, inspired songwriting, emotional depth, and its timeless production. This has been another review for Conscious Ground Sound. Take a look at the description box of this video for links to the Michael Kiwanuka Love and Hate full album and other interesting video links. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to be informed of upcoming video reviews and album recommendations. Check my social media for musical updates, music articles, and music videos.